Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. This is Joe, the bearded historian. He'll tell you an interesting story. Be careful of his soldiers, they can be brats. This is Angel, she's an entity. She'll cause chaos and plant her hands at you. This is Sue, she likes spirits, not the alcohol. She's the reason this channel exists. This is David, he likes fire trucks. He's here occasionally. Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. We preserve his story. Alright, fellas, Joe's going to tell you something that's going to be semi-interesting. And I'm going to pretend to pay attention.
Long as before she falls asleep. Now, for all you science wonks out there, think about something that you think is completely crazy, but is right on that borderline of genius, and then see if you can make money off of it. Because this guy here had something that sounds really weird, but made it work. Okay. 1859, a fellow by the name of Robert Cheeseborough, I'm surprised he didn't go into dairy, was a chemist who formerly clarified lamp oil from sperm oil. A waxy oil from the heads of sperm whales was losing business as whale oil was being replaced by coal oil.
Oh dear.
Didn't know you can make coal oil. He traveled to the oil fields of Titusville, Pennsylvania to research what new materials might be created from this new oil. Well, he learned that a residue called rod wax that had been periodically removed from the oil rig pumps, the oil workers had been using the substance to heal cuts and burns. Cheeseborough took the samples of the rod wax back to Brooklyn, extracted the usable petroleum jelly, and then began manufacturing a medicinal product that he called Vaseline. Now, the first mention of this substance by the Cheeseborough Manufacturing Company in the U.S. patent 127,568 in 1872. I, Robert Cheeseborough, have invented a new and useful product from petroleum which I have named Vaseline. The name Vaseline is said to by the manufacturer to be derived from the German Wasser, water, and Greek Elion, or oil. Vaseline was made by the Cheeseborough Manufacturing Company until the company merged with Pond's in 1955, was purchased by Unilever in 1987. Now, uses. Vaseline can be used as a lubricant for metallic and plastic surfaces, can be used as a moisture insulator for local skin conditions characterized by dry skin such as atopic dermatitis or eczema. Vaseline should not be used as a lubricant, though. Naughty, naughty boys. As it may increase the risk of bacterial vaginosis, damaged latex condoms, and is not recommended for internal use.
Oh man.
Yeah, no eating it. As a petroleum product, Vaseline is used as a topical moisturizer, which assists in skin water retention by acting as an occlusive agent that prevents evaporation of water from the stratum corneum, or outermost skin layer, and seals out external water. Vaseline is intended for external use only, is not recommended for deep skin cuts or punctures, animal bites, or serious burns. Now, topical petroleum products like Vaseline are used to manage and relieve atopic dermatitis and eczema in adults, and Vaseline contains mineral oils. Unrefined mineral oils often contain adulterants, including polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which can increase the risk for certain forms of cancer when consumed orally. When using them topically, as in recommended with Vaseline, dermal absorption of PHAs is insignificant. No link has been found between topical petroleum jelly-based moisturizer and cancer has been found in large studies over many years. The interesting item that I do remember, and if I remember right, originally people were kind of skeptical of this stuff. And if I remember right, one of the things that this nut tried is to is he would bet people that to prove it's not harmful, he would eat a spoonful of it. And you're like going, oh heck no. You know, I mean, first of all, think about what Vaseline looks like. It's a kind of a jellied white substance, clear substance, and normally you just put it on the outside of the body, you know, arms, hands, you know, face. You wouldn't put it in your stomach.
I'm trying to think of the last time I used Vaseline.
Yeah. Now, I was also going to mention because, you know, besides the fact that the substance here go through the general information, you know, Healing Jelly, the original version, Vaseline Radiant X Deep Nourishment Hand Butter, mention some of the different uses you can use it for: everyday moisturization, to heal dry skin, advanced moisturization for, you know, when your skin's very dry or uncomfortable, you need moisture quickly. They have different formulations to that effect. Radiance and Glow. You know, there's a lot of different varieties, and you know, when they originally probably started out in the late 1800s, you think about a lot of the more, you know, physical and demanding jobs that people had, you know, working on oil rigs. Obviously, you wouldn't want to put it on your fingers because guess who doesn't have a grip anymore? Fred over there just dropped a wrench, you know.
We didn't need that.
And then, of course, eczema, you know, is always kind of an itchy situation. And, you know, they have special products exclusively for refreshing moisturizers to relax and hydrate the skin. So, yeah, there's a lot of different topics that they have to take and work with. See if I got a history real quick here on Vaseline. History. Yeah, dates all the way back to 1870. This Wonder Jelly has been healing dry skin for over 150 years. What started with a jar of Vaseline has grown into an expansive product portfolio, including intensive care lotions, lip therapy tins. However, the healing power of Vaseline jelly can still be found inside the products that use the Vaseline maker. We invite you to go back in time and learn about the origins of this brand. Again, all the way back to 1859 when they made the breakthrough discovery. And he was only 22 years old when he discovered this.
It's nice to be able to find a thing.
Yeah, and make a punch into history. You know, it has skin repairing properties, which is always good for, you know, cracked skin, blisters, stuff like that. And, you know, when he discovered that it was useful with a natural waxy ingredient, he brought samples back of the substance to the chemistry lab in Brooklyn and began experimenting, reformulating it, hoping to find a solution to heal and protect the skin. After several years of testing and perfecting the extracting technique, the 1865 Cheeseborough Company patented this purification method, marking the birth of the triple purification process shown to the Vaseline brand. Well, the Vaseline brand was born, and it's kind of cute because they had little tiny bottles that you could get, little blue bottles.
Right.
The product that we know and use today is officially born. It came with a cork, cute little things. And Cheeseborough began to distribute this pure petroleum jelly under the brand of name of Vaseline, one of the first branded products in North America, actually. And the same year, he opened a factory in Brooklyn, New York, and toured the entire state in a horse-drawn carriage to promote the miracle product. Does sound like one of your snake oil salesmen riding through town there. Now, interesting enough, in 1874, just 2 years after the branding, 1 tin per minute of Vaseline jelly was being sold through the United States. That's over 1,400 tins per day. Now, by 1880, people were starting to discover the safe and diverse uses of pure Vaseline petroleum jelly, and soon every household in North America had a jar in their medicine cabinet. New mothers used it on their babies for diaper rash, while workers exposed to extreme cold weather use it to relieve their dry, chapped skin. Kind of popular up here when you talk about blizzard weather and sub-zero temperatures. Now, in 1916, it was actually included in wartime staples in World War I. Became for the American soldiers fighting in Europe, ideal for soothing sore feet in the trenches. It was in much higher demand, and many young men would write home asking their families to send. In the 1920s, it was also considered the handiest thing in the house, used both as a first aid and cosmetically. It became a ubiquitous household brand. Now, in 1937, into World War II, this product would wind up being served again in the front lines. Soldiers sustained serious injuries from burns, and so the manufacturing company was commissioned to make by the Surgeon General a product of sterile antiseptic dressings containing petroleum jelly. Show a cute little picture of one of these little envelopes. Kind of reminds you of what you'd see in a first aid kit with gauze. Well, on to the 50s. Reader's Digest would call this substance the Wonder Jelly. Let me show an ad what it looked like. That's kind of interesting looking. And then the Vaseline lotion was launched in the 70s, intensive care. Everybody and their mother probably remembers this bottle. It was kind of oval shaped, and was launched in 1968 for both dry skin and after sun moisturizer. A few years later, a new era was born with the development of the Vaseline Intensive Care Working Hands of America campaign, featuring people from all walks of life with different occupations, all clapping and joining hands across the mountains and the valleys. Don't remember that one because I was probably too young.
I think I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds vaguely familiar, at least that term.
Across America.
Helping Hands Across America.
Yeah.
Could just be that term, too,
Yeah.
so.
On to the 80s and 90s, Vaseline for lips and hands, and after the great success of body lotions, Vaseline began to expand it by introducing Vaseline lip therapy and Vaseline hand and nail formula. In 2011, they were taking steps towards sustainability. They switched from plastic material used in the Vaseline healing jelly jars from polystyrene to polypropylene, a number 6 plastic to a number 5 plastic.
We went up one.
Well, I guess it's supposed to help with the recyclability of the packaging.
I know, I'm just...
One of those weird things, yeah. 2015, they were bringing the skin healing where it's needed the most, aiming to produce skin health care in every body, everywhere. Vaseline partnered with Direct Relief to create Vaseline Healing Project. Since the program was launched, they've been providing people around the world with access to critical skin health care in areas with acute needs or in the wake of natural disasters, for hurricanes, floods. Can't imagine trying to deliver it in the middle of a civil war. But in those third world countries where people get scrapes and scratches, and in some cases those things are, life-threatening, this could take and help them heal. 2018, again, you got less plastic per lotion bottle. Lotion packs were re-engineered to use less plastic, avoiding the equivalent of 2.3 milligrams of Vaseline, 20.3 ounce bottles. The redesigned format would reduce plastic of metric tons in the U.S. from 2018 to 2022, 130 metric tons. That's a lot less waste to deal with. And 2019, Skin Health for All was a first goal Vaseline reached as they tried to heal the skin of over 5 million people worldwide through the Vaseline Healing Project. And in 22, they increased the usage of recycled plastic. Intensive care lotions were relaunched with new packaging, improved formulas, and bottles made of 50% recycled plastic, and the jelly jars were becoming widely recyclable. Their approach to the plastic in 2022, they updated the lotion bottles in the U.S. and Canada, stepping up from the bottles that contained 0 to 25% up to 50%. And by recycling the plastic, they reduced the reliance on virgin plastic and build demand for future plastic recycling. In July of 2022, the How to Recycle changed the classification of Vaseline healing jelly jars made of polypropylene, the number 5 plastic, from check locally to widely recyclable. They're also updating the back of package labels to reflect this change. They also have a slight information tab on their webpage on how to recycle classification of the number 5 plastic. In 2024, the launch of recyclable pumps. I've always loved pump products because, instead of having to pop the top, squeeze out a little bit, you just go punch, there, you got some in your hand. They replaced the pumps on its intensive care lotion bottles with recyclable pumps, allowing consumers to recycle the bottle and pump together. Most pumps available today include an internal metal spring and a plastic casing, making them difficult to recycle. Vaseline's new recyclable pump replaces the metal spring with one made of number 5 plastic, making it possible to dispose of the bottle and pump as one unit by simply placing it directly into the recycling bin, subject to local recycling policies. You can also learn about the new recyclable pump in a tab. But, the thing is that, for a company that started all the way back in the 1800s, these guys, advanced and updated with the times. Of course, they're now owned by a British conglomerate, Unilever, which I think they own something like 70% of manufacturing goods in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, they're kind of like kind of Zuckerberg. But at the same time, if they're able to adapt and change and update, more power to them.
Right.
And so it serves a good product, serves a good purpose, and they celebrated their founding of their product. They patented it on this day back in the 1800s. So, but this has been the Bearded Historian for a fun little tidbit on the Wayback Wednesday. You folks have a good one, and we will see you next week. Or unless Sue, knocks me off first.
They'll fire you.
Yep.
Wow. Only 16 minutes. I almost